To watch the full lecture of all subjects, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon because whenever I post the new videos, you will get the immediate notifications. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. From this particular video, we will be starting a new chapter in Income Tax Law and Practice subject. The new chapter name is Residential Status and Income of Tax. So in this particular part video, let us discuss about what is a residential status, what is the meaning of residential status, and what are the types of residential statuses, and how do we find out which person belongs to which type of residential statuses. So first is residential status. After determining the type of person, so we have 7 types of person: individual, Hindu undivided by family, a firm, company, artificial juridical person, etc. I have done that in the last videos. So after we find out which type of person it is, the next step is to find out the residential status of the person. So first we will find out the type of person. Okay, the type of person. The second one is we need to find out the residential status. We need to find out the residential status of the person. Now in last chapter we studied on how to find this type of person. So from this particular chapter we will discuss on the residential status of the person. Last chapter ಅಲ್ಲಿ type of person ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್, ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Because the taxable income of the person depends upon the residential status he is having. We all know what is taxable income, the income on which the tax will be levied. So that income depends on the residential status of the person. ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ taxable income ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ residential status ಮೂಲಕ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Why residential status is important? Because an Indian citizen can be a non-resident sometimes, and even a foreigner can become a resident of India. So we cannot simply say that all Indian citizens are residents. We cannot say that all foreigners are non-resident. No, it is not the case. ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಾರಿನರ್ಸ್ ನಾನ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ನಾವು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. Meaning of residential status. Residential status refers to status of the assessee based on the residence. Residence means stay, means number of days he has stayed in India. Based on that we give him a residential status. ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್, ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Now the residential status is of 2 types. One is resident and second one is non-resident. There is a third one known as deemed to be resident. But regarding deemed to be resident, I will not explain now. When such type of problems comes, that time I'll explain. Now we'll be doing only problems related to residents and non-residents. Now that resident has 2 types. One is ordinary resident and not an ordinary resident. See, non-resident is different, not an ordinary resident is different. First we have to find out whether the person is resident or not resident. If he is a resident, then we have to find out whether he is an ordinary resident or not an ordinary resident. Residential status ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಾನ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇದೆ ಡೀಮ್ಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್. ಡೀಮ್ಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನೀಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗೇನ್ 2 ರೀತಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್, ಎರಡನೇದು ನಾಟ್ ಎನ್ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್. Now you may get the question like how to decide whether he is a resident or not an resident. If he is a resident, then whether he is an ordinary resident or not an ordinary resident. So there are certain rules. Okay, there are certain rules. Based upon the rules, okay, or we may call it as conditions, based upon the conditions given by the Income Tax Act of 1965, we will find 1961, we will find out the residential status of the person. Before that, a small note. A person may be resident in one previous year and non-resident in another year. For example, for the year 2020-21, a person may be ordinary resident, but for the year 21-22, he may be not an ordinary resident. There is no rule that the residential status should be same. The residential status may differ from each year to year. ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು. To determine the residential status of an individual, Section 6 of IT Act of 1961 prescribes two conditions. So IT Act is giving two conditions. So what are those conditions? Let us see. The first one is basic conditions. This is under US means under section 6 subsection 1. Then additional conditions, it is under section 6 and subsection 6. Based on these two conditions, we will decide the residential status of a person. Using basic conditions, we will decide whether the person is resident or non-resident. Basic conditions na ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟಾ ಅಥವಾ ನಾನ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟಾ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತೀವಿ. ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟಾ ನಾಟ್ ಎನ್ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟಾ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತೀವಿ. By using the additional conditions, we find out whether the person is ordinary resident or not an ordinary resident. The basic conditions. Please pay attention. This is a very important. Without understanding these two conditions, we cannot solve the residential status problems. For solving the residential status problem, understanding of these basic conditions and additional conditions is very essential. The first one is, he is in India, very important, in the previous year. Now, we are in the assessment year 23-24. Our previous year, means preceding year, is 2022-23. This you should keep in your mind. In the previous year, means in the year 2022-23, he should stay for a minimum of 180 days or more. In 2022-23 year, the person should stay at least minimum number of 182 days. That is the first basic condition. Next, or by chance he is not there for 182 days, then we will check for one more condition. That is, he is in India for a period of 60 days or more. So, in the previous year, he should be 60 days or more in the previous year. Okay, let me make it very clear for you people. Our previous year is 2022 to 2023. In this year, you should have at least 60 days of stay in India, and with that, along with that, out of 4 preceding previous years, preceding means before this, means 2021 to 2022, 2020 to 2021, 2019 to 2020, 2018 to 2019. This is the preceding 4 years. So from this preceding 4 years, he should have stayed in India for 365 days. Don't get confused. Basic rule number 2 says, in the previous year, he should have stayed in India for a minimum of 60 days, and out of 4 preceding previous years, he should have stayed for 365 days. I'll make it very simple for you people. So now, we are discussing about the basic rule. Okay, this basic rule is according to section 6 and subsection 1 of IT Act 1961. So what does this basic rule says is that there are 2 rules, rule number 1 and rule number 2. Okay, rule number 1 says that in the previous year, That is, our previous year is 2022 to 2023. In that, the person should satisfy his stay for minimum 182 days. If he satisfies this condition, then we will not go to rule number 2. By chance, if the person is not satisfying this 182 days of his stay in India in the previous year, then we will check on to the rule number 2. Rule number 2 says that preceding 4 previous years. So our our previous year is 20 to 23. So we have to start from 2021 to 2022, 2020 to 2021, and 2019 to 2020, 2018 to 2019. In this 4 years, the person should have stayed 365 days. Along with that, in the year 2023 to 23, the person should have stayed at least for 60 days in India. So here two condition also he should satisfy in the basic rule number 2. First one is that this is previous year. In the previous year, he should have stayed for 60 days, and in the preceding 4 previous years, he should have stayed for 365 days. If he satisfies any one condition in these two, he will be termed as resident of India. ಈ ಎರಡು ರೂಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರೂಲನ್ನ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾವ್ದು ಎರಡು ರೂಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಮೊದಲನೇ ರೂಲ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2022ರಿಂದ 2023ರವರೆಗೆ 182 ಡೇಸ್ ಅವನಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 60 ದಿನ ಪ್ರಿಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 60 ಡೇಸ್ 60 ದಿನ ಇರಬೇಕು. 4 ಪ್ರಿಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ಗಿನ 4 ವರ್ಷ ಹಿಂದೆ, ಈ 4 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಟ್ಟು ಅವನು ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ದಿನಗಳನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕನಿಷ್ಠ 365 ದಿನ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಈ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ರೂಲ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿನ ನಾವು ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Now to decide whether the person is an ordinary resident or not an ordinary resident, we take up the additional rules. What does the additional rules say is that he has been resident in India at least 2 years out of 10 previous years. So in 1 year, we'll have how many number of days? We are having 365 days, isn't it? We are having 365 days. Into 2 years means 730 days. So out of 10 previous years preceding, 10 preceding previous years, the person should have stayed for 730 days, and means both the conditions should be satisfied. He has been in India for a period of 730 days or more during 7 years. So I'll explain you. Now see here. Rule 1. Here only one rule is there. In the 2 parts are there. Part 1 of that and part 2. Part 1 says that 2 years out of 10 preceding previous years. Now our previous year is 22 to 23. Preceding andre before that. So 21, 22, 20, 21. 19, 20, 18, 19, 17, 18, 16, 17, 15, 16, 14, 15, 13, 14, 12, 13. If I add all this, he should have stayed in India for 730 days. Okay, this is condition part A. Part B, what it says, in 7 preceding previous years means 21, 22, 20, 21, 19, 20, 18, 19, 17, 18, and 16, 17, and 17, 18, this is 15, 16. In this years, if we add his total stay, it should be 730 days. Here we have taken 7 years. If he satisfies the additional condition, then he will be termed as ordinary resident if he satisfies additional condition. If he doesn't satisfy the additional condition, we will term him as not an ordinary resident. So don't worry, if you have any doubts, you will understand it very clearly when we solve the problems. Now, listen here, this is a very important. To judge the person as ordinary resident, he should satisfy any one of the basic condition and both the additional conditions. Okay, one basic condition and both the additional conditions. If we need to judge a person as not an ordinary resident, he should satisfy one basic condition. Any one or none of the two, either one or nothing is also enough. We will term him as not an ordinary resident. If he is a non-resident, means he should not satisfy both the basic conditions. If he is not satisfying the basic conditions, then we will not move on to additional conditions. So additional conditions becomes irrelevant. ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ 2 ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬಹುಶಃ ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿನ ನಾವು ನಾಟ್ ಎನ್ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಏನಾದ್ರು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನಮಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಂತ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Understood? Now there are some key points that you need to remember. The stay in India can be different places within India or at a single place. He may stay in Mumbai, he may stay in Delhi, he may stay in Karnataka, he may stay in Jammu Kashmir, anything, but he should stay in India. The stay in India may not be continuous. For example, he may come in April, stay a few days, go to some other country, come back in June, stay. That is fine, accepted. Arrival and departure days are also included. For example, if the person has come on 1st April, then we will even consider that 1st April also. Next, an SSC might have different residential status for different previous years. As I told you this earlier, for different previous years, he will have different residential status. Clear? So this was all about the introduction part. Okay, hope you have understood very well. If you have any doubts, please put in the comment box whatever your doubts you have. We'll try to respond to your doubts and queries as soon as possible. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon button, because whenever I post a new lecture, you will get the immediate update of all my new videos. Thank you for watching the videos. From next videos, let us start solving the problems.
If you have any queries regarding today's session, kindly send your queries to education.mbroadcast@gmail.com.